if you're feeling that you're more at the beginner stage of drawing with the level of drawing that you've reached, and that you've been, well, stuck there for some time, for a frustratingly long time, then this video I think will be really important for you. I actually didn't start planning this video. What I was planning to do was a video on how to do advanced drawing, and that got me thinking, okay, what's the difference between the drawing that we do, the way we draw when we're drawing something that's a fairly basic subject, and something that's very advanced? Because I thought, well, they're the processes that I'm obviously going to be talking about more in this video. So then I began to think and try and make comparisons, and I'm drawing both all the time because of the nature of the videos that I make. I'm always bouncing back and forth between the two. What changes with the process, the techniques? Now, I assumed there would be answers, but it didn't take me very long trying to think it through before I realized that, well, for me at least, when I'm drawing more advanced subjects, that actually nothing has changed from the way I draw when I draw a more basic subject. My approach, my thinking, the techniques I use are exactly the same ones that I use in my basic level drawing. But if this is true, then why do so many of us feel like we're stuck at the beginner level end of the journey when we've been there and we've been practicing at that level for so long? And I might add, this video is really, in its thinking, aimed at people who aren't doing a formal course or class, who are navigating their own journey, having to make the choices they make in what they look at or read or try and do. And I think firstly, many of us when we start learning to draw ourselves don't get off to a good start, but we don't know enough to realize that we haven't got off to a good start. That's not our fault, it's just the way it so easily can be. So most of us start trying to draw by trying to copy photos in our drawing. And I think quite understandably, we focus on the result, on how our drawing looks, rather than on the process that we've followed to draw it. And with a very simple subject, it can be relatively easy to get something in our drawing that looks reasonably similar to our reference, and depending how we expected it to go, actually feel quite impressed. But if we stop and think for a moment about learning a different creative area, say playing the piano, when we first start on the keys, if we have a piano teacher, they will give us certain sequences of keys to practice over and over again. We're not playing a tune, we're just working on some very basic key changes, some very simple progressions from one finger to another. But our teacher's focus is not going to be on whether we hit the right notes, but on whether the way we're holding our fingers and the way we're pressing them down on the keys, and probably some other things as well, are correct or not. Because our teacher knows that we might be able to produce the keys, if you like, the music, very accurately. But if we haven't done this very basic thing using the right process, then when we try and move on, we're actually not going to have the skills that we need to do the same thing, but at the level of that skill that we will need to be able to do it to play a Beethoven concerto. There is an enormous difference between doing something at the very start of a learning process that, to all intents and purposes, can look like a reasonable end product, and to do it in a way that we're actually starting to learn a way of doing this, a process of doing this, that will set us up, that will be able to be learnt more deeply and explored more widely and used more creatively as we move on in our learning. But of course, we know we're not an art teacher ourselves, and we know we don't know everything, so we're doing the best we can. And what we've drawn has impressed me because it's better than I thought I would have been able to do. And so therefore I think that the ways I've done it have been adequate as well. Sets me up to have real problems at improving how I draw further down the track, because we don't realize there's anything wrong with what we're doing, we keep doing it that way, and understandably. But the truth is, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And unfortunately, we're not in a position to realize that there are problems with our drawing that looks okay to us that a drawing teacher wouldn't let us get away with, would point out how it needs to be and how we might get it to that place. And the real danger in this for our drawing improvement is that what we accept never changes. And also, if we accept something over and over again, we get used to seeing it over and over again. And seeing the same thing over and over again can normalize it in our mind. We start to think that this is how it should look, and we come to be in a position that if even someone pointed out what wasn't quite right with what we'd drawn, we would actually find it harder to see than if perhaps they'd been able to do that same thing after our very first drawing. It's got nothing to do with our attitude, but to do with the fact that we've now trained our mind to see that as how our subject looks and to see no problem with it. But as if this wasn't enough, we have the added difficulty that with a simpler subject, these issues in our drawing aren't going to be as obvious as if we were making them at a more advanced level of subject. Our proportions may not be quite right. The overall height to width ratio of the building may not be quite right, but there's really just a few windows and a door, and it's not super obvious because there's lots of space between everything to spread the extra or missing distances. But if I were drawing a more elaborate facade with lots of detail and I get the proportions wrong of the height to the width, but instead of a door and 2 windows to fit into that shape, I've got 12 columns and 2 very tall, thin windows with little pediments on top, and above those a smaller square window, as well as a few other decorative elements in between all the columns, then if I don't get the proportions correct, it's going to be way more obvious because there's not going to be much space between any of these details. And so if I run out of space, it'll be impossible for me to have everything correct and have my square window at the top still square. Or if I make errors the other way, have my height too high, then my square windows at the top are either going to be rectangular or they're going to have a lot more space above and below them that's more obvious when we compare to the reference. And this is why if we're thinking that we're drawing fairly well with simple subjects and then we try something a bit harder, we can see at the end of our drawing that it's not right in a way that we can't see with our simpler drawings. But there is a very important thing about drawing that does change if we're trying to draw at an advanced level than a basic one. And that's the skill level needed with an advanced drawing. But the overall drawing process is fundamentally the same. The way I work out where I'll start doesn't change. The way I work out how I'll progress the drawing from that place doesn't change. The various techniques that are open to me, the ways of making marks on the paper, all of those things don't change. The accuracy of the perspective I aim at doesn't change. And all the other things that are part of the planning of a drawing stay the same. But the level that's required of me to be able to do that part of the process, if the drawing becomes a more complex subject, the skill level I'm needing at that point is higher. Whether I'm drawing a humble worker's cottage or whether I'm drawing the front of an imperial palace, my thinking, my process is the same. The techniques are fundamentally the same, but I need to be able to use them at a higher level. And the thing is, we can't progress to a higher level if we haven't mastered the use of these skills at a more basic level. We can't expect to hit the piano keys with our fingers in the way we need to play a complicated piece of music if we haven't learnt first to use those exact same processes well in the right way at a more basic level. Can you see the problem? because I haven't seen that I've got problems in my more basic drawings, because they're close enough to the subject that I think, oh, that's fine. I don't realize that I haven't learnt what I need to learn at this level before I can helpfully move on to a higher level of drawing. So I'm setting myself up for failure here. I'm starting to draw at a level that I don't have what I need to have to be able to do it well. But I think I do, because in my mind, I've shown these skills at a satisfactory level, at a simpler level, at a more basic level. And you see, I've already started developing the skill of looking at something that's not quite right and thinking it's okay. And now I might even possibly develop this skill further to draw things that are a bit harder, but accept that they're basically okay. So now I'm expecting a greater range of things that aren't quite right and learning to see them as being okay. And it's because I don't have the skill level in understanding the drawing process and in using the basic skills, the techniques that we use when we draw to carry out the process. And I see this consistently with my drawing students. Drawing after drawing, often pitched at a reasonably high level in terms of challenge, done, well, in my mind, with such obvious problems, I struggle sometimes to understand, how can you think this was okay? And let me say, as soon as I point out the issues to them, they have no problem seeing them. In fact, they often look at it and scratch their head and go, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know how I thought that worked. So it's not that we're not capable of seeing the problems, but we've unfortunately, just because of what we haven't known or understood, we've trained ourselves to not see them and or to excuse them. But it's not just understanding the process and knowing what we need to do. It's also actually still believing that it still applies to me, that there are areas where I'm actually not as good as I might think I am, because currently I lack the experience to understand what I could be drawing. I think probably the most important and the most fundamental example of this is when it comes to observation for drawing. If I were to ask anyone, are you able to observe properly when you draw? They're going to say yes, whether they do or don't. Because we all think we know how to observe. We all know how to see. We spend our entire life, most of us, seeing. And so we think we're more than capable of observing to draw. And yet we don't know enough to realize that the observation that we need to set us up on a foundation to do accurate drawing is very different, is very more demanding, and requires us to search out visually different things in what we're looking at than the sort of observation I do to navigate the world for everyday life most of the time. So many of the issues with my drawing students come down to the fact that they thought they'd seen what their reference said accurately enough. They drew what they thought was an adequate capture of that in some way, and then, and this is another giveaway I think, didn't compare the two closely enough afterwards to see that they hadn't in fact achieved. When they look at their drawing, they can recognize what their drawing is saying is happening, but they have lacked the perception when they've observed the reference to realize that their drawing is saying it in a slightly different way, at a slightly different angle, under slightly different proportions, whatever the discrepancies between their drawing and the original reference are. And if they do recognize that things aren't quite right, I'm almost certain that most of the time they're more likely to put it down to, I just haven't learnt the right technique, and not actually believe the problem is I'm not looking at my drawing reference closely enough and in the right way. And that this actually requires some time and quite a bit of cognitive processing, and often means that when we go to put the mark on our paper and we're holding the pen a millimetre above the paper surface, and we suddenly realise I'm not quite sure, to know that at that point we need to look back at our reference, find that spot, work out what's happening that we weren't so clear about, become clear about it, looking at the reference, and then to go back. And I still do this constantly, really, regardless of whether it's a basic subject or a more advanced one, because I cannot draw well what I haven't seen accurately. I could draw a small, simple tree and a large, complex tree using exactly the same tree drawing technique, exactly the same processes, exactly the same drawing strategy, where I start, what I do next, what I do last, but I'm using all those things at a much higher skill level. And one of them, of course, the most important, is observation. It's even more important to see what I need to see if there's a lot of things to see in quite complex relationship with each other that I need to capture accurately for my drawing. But if I haven't learned to be really fussy with proportion and perspective and angles and foreshortening space between things and so forth, if I've been too easily satisfied because I haven't critiqued my drawing well enough, then I don't develop these techniques and these processes to the skill level that I need to have a chance of drawing something at this level. I think a very helpful way to kind of perhaps pull some of this together and approach it from a slightly different way of thinking is one that I hesitate to say because it may sound a bit mean, but I give it with the best of intentions, and that is that I think a big problem is when we're a beginner and we're drawing things that look okay, what's really happening is we think we've drawn better than we have, and so we think we've got better skills than we've got. We think that everything we're doing's okay, and that if we just keep doing it, we'll slowly start to be able to do it at a higher and higher level. But the problem is, because what we've done at the basic level isn't adequate, it doesn't give us the foundation we need that we can build on, that we can improve on, that we can strengthen. So the question is, if I feel like my drawing journey has perhaps started and got caught up a bit like this, and that this could well be the reason why I'm struggling to progress, what do we do? I think what we do is we start to employ a fundamental part of my drawing process, and that's self-critiquing of my drawing. Because it's either because I haven't done this, or I haven't done this adequately, or I've done it really badly, that I've looked at drawings that I should have seen things not quite right in, and I've accepted it and thought that's either okay or it's good enough. These are the tiny thoughts, drawing after drawing after drawing after drawing, that actually will stop me from improving. I need to put time into learning how to self-critique and learning what sort of things I can see, find, and then how to focus on those things in my next drawing. But a great immediate way to deal with the output of our self-critiquing is to redraw the drawing a second time using all of that input. But I have to make sure that I find everything there is to find in my drawing that's not quite right, so that I can focus on that second time round. And this is why a simpler subject helps me learn how to, in this case, critique more easily, because there'll be less things to see, and it will be more obvious, hopefully, if I develop the observation I need both to draw and to critique. So it's not I look at a drawing and think, does that look okay or not? But it's when I critique my drawing with the reference and think, have I achieved everything in my drawing that there is to achieve? Because there's no point trying to take the skills needed for this level to another level if I haven't. I have a number of videos on how to self-critique if they're of interest to you. G'day, I'm Stephen Travers. It's so frustrating to do drawing after drawing and to not improve and to not be able to understand what's holding me back. Then I hope it gives you some thoughts and ideas. G'day, I'm Stephen Travers. But of course, in the end, whatever level you're at, whatever you're trying to draw, however it turns out and whatever you think about it, make sure you have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.